Episode 3886, Tip the Scales.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. Don't have a freak out moment because it's hump day, and that means it's Wellness Wednesday. It is time for you to feel good from the inside out, the outside in. Guess what? You're beautiful. You're on fire. You're incredible. You're going to have a wonderful rest of your November. The holidays, they're going to be magnificent because you can always tip the scales. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kissed newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, Inspiring Connection and Community. Okay, have you already got your turkey ready? If you are celebrating Thanksgiving next week, which I can't even believe that it's next week. I mean, I'm scratching my head, and we're celebrating birthdays on our Thanksgiving. We're celebrating family. We're celebrating friends. We're celebrating, moments in our lives, and almost ready to embark on a new year. And sometimes it just comes around so fast and you're like, there's no way. Weren't we just here like last year? Shouldn't we just be doing Christmas in 2024, not 2025? The holidays hit though, they hit you right in the face. They get you coming and going. And then when you think about healthy living, poof, it's like a wrecking ball. It is, right? Sweet dessert, salty snack, savory feast, you name it. Your taste buds get a nonstop assault that leaves them confused and craving more. They're like, yes, I need this. Not I want this, I need this. And then you add in the shorter days and the time change. Suddenly that daily walk feels like climbing Mount Everest after a long day packed with endless commitments that you can't say no to. No boundaries. Nothing. You're like, yep, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. I got it. Healthy living during the holidays can feel impossible. Whew, me just thinking about that. I'm already exhausted. I'm winded. But guess what? You can still tip the scales. Not just for a quick win, but to build a lifestyle that carries you through the seasons. Every season, into Christmas, into New Year's, into the spring, into the summer. Yeah, you can be bikini ready in the spring. Even in the holidays, seriously. But before you get there, you have to know where you are right now. So before you start stacking new habits or chasing perfect routines or reading up on the latest and greatest gadgets and trying to grab all of this stuff because it's on sale and you're thinking Black Friday, let's start now because Black Friday is starting before Black Friday. Why do we even call it that? Anyway, that's for another episode. But stop and take a clear-eyed look at where you are. Too many people try to move mountains when they're actually standing in a valley. It's like, I can do this. I can climb this. No, you can't because you're too far under. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're a little bit off on your routine, overwhelmed by social events, or simply you just don't know where to begin. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But until you're honest about your starting point, where you are, doesn't matter the plan. It's going to be a shot in the dark. Right? You can spend all the money. You could be a billionaire. You could be Elon Musk with all of his shares and whatever he signed with Tesla and all of this stuff. You could be him and still not be able to do what you really want to do because you have to know where you are right now in order to create your now. So I want you to ask yourself, what's working? What's not? What do I actually have control over every day? It would be nice if we could have a chef come in and have everything perfectly lined up and have our personal trainers, show up at the door. And if you are Elon Musk, not that he's sponsoring this episode because he's not, but maybe he should. Anyway, if you had all the money in the world and they showed up on your doorstep and you could do that, that'd be great, right? But would you still be able to follow through? Sometimes we get stuck needing the hand holding. Sometimes we get stuck because guess what? Being healthy all the time is hard. Why? Because we are blessed in a world that has lots of great junk food, processed food, real food, and we can go in a store and it's all there at our fingertips. We don't have to wait. In fact, we don't even have to go anywhere. We can pick up our phone and say, I want this, whether we cook it or somebody else cooks it. No wonder we're filled with sodium and all this other stuff and preservatives and things that our body doesn't know what to do with. Our cells are being chemically blocked. We'll leave that also for another episode. But that's why you have to say, okay, what is working now? What are my hangups? What do I need to change? What do I not need to change? What do I need to enhance? What do I need to just keep doing because I'm doing it so well? My husband, he does a lot of things great, but you know what the best thing he does? He keeps on a sleeping schedule for the most part. Every once in a while he gets off. But for the most part, even on the weekends, keeps the sleeping schedule. I love that. Me, you know I'm messed up when it comes to a sleeping schedule. There is no routine in my life. I try. I do really well and I'm like, bombed out. And I've been bombing out the last few weeks. I'm like, why try? And that's going to be the holidays and I'm going to be burning the candle at both ends. It's partly because that's just how it seems to roll with me. And so I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm going to beat myself up. I'm not going to. But it's important to know where that is with me, right? Being able to acknowledge what is working, what's not working. That kind of clarity gives you the leverage to tip the scales in your favor. That is your kiss to keep it simple strategy. Tip the scales. You got to scale it. And I want to use the word scales as an acronym today. SCALES. And allow you to see what you can do when it comes to having a healthy lifestyle, even during the holidays. And it's tough, I know. I can remember back when I went through my tornado, when my husband and I were having things, and I really started focusing on my health because I needed it. I went through a lot of different things. I was going through counseling and I was having coaching and I was, really focused on my eating and what I was doing. And I really wasn't moving as much as I thought I was. I thought I was moving like, oh yeah, getting those 10,000 steps in, and I wasn't doing it. I was lucky on a day that I thought I was hitting this. I was only hitting like 4,000 steps. And that was on this, crazy little pedometer, not the things that we have now that can be so accurate. This was way back in the day, over a decade ago. And one thing that I realized when I worked really hard is that I did it before the holidays and then through the holidays. And I felt so good because when New Year's Day came, it wasn't about, I'm dreading this. It was like, no, I'm already doing it. I want you to feel that. I want you to get excited for saying, you know what? I feel good. Even if it's changing one thing, not one thing creates what? A ripple effect of confidence. Confidence that rolls and scales on your scale, okay? Because it's like, well, if I can do this, then I can do that. And if I can do that, then I can do this. And pretty soon you're like, I'm there. And a year from now, you're going to be like, this feels pretty good. So how do you tip the scales? What does it look like in real life so it becomes sticky beyond the holiday frenzy? Well, let's start with the letter S. Simplify your goals. Forget all or nothing. Now, there's a time and place for that where you got to be all in. But that doesn't mean you have to have everything perfect. The all in my opinion, symbolizes and kind of puts it in our mind that if I don't have everything lined up perfectly, that's my excuse to jump ship. Okay, you could use that excuse, but just be honest. Say, I don't want to do this today. No problem with that. But forget the all or nothing. Your goals during the holidays don't have to be massive, right? Commit to small, tiny little actions, like drinking one extra glass of water a day. It's not about saying, I got to have, a gallon worth of water. If you're used to drinking close to a gallon of water, then that's not a big deal. But if you're only used to drinking a glass of water, that's a really big deal. So start small and say, okay, I'm just going to add an extra glass of water, or I'm going to take a 5-minute dance break between my commitments. Maybe you work at home. Maybe you need to stretch a little bit. Okay. So For 5 minutes, you're going to do a stretching routine. And then the other times, you're just going to do kind of some movement. Maybe you do some jumping jacks. Maybe you do some push-ups on the wall. You're like, I can't do them on the floor. That's okay. So do them on the wall. Not a big deal. These micro habits add up over time. And guess what? It simplifies your goals. It simplifies your life. It doesn't have to be complicated in order to have impact. So you got your S. What about C? Choose movement that fits you. It's about you, right? So I'm sharing this with you, but you don't make your decision based on me. You're going to make your decision based on you, your body, your mind, your spirit. That's what matters. You don't have to hit the gym hard. You don't have to sit there and clock miles upon miles on the treadmill. Instead, walk around your neighborhood. If you want to and you've got an inside mall still and it's cold outside, go there. Walk in there. Window shop. Don't go spend extra money if you don't need to, right? Unless you just want to and you have the budget to, great. But if not, enjoy just the window shopping. Enjoy seeing other people, smile at them. Maybe you just want to go and play with your kids or your grandbabies or your nieces and nephews, or you need to go borrow some kids to play with, whatever it takes. It doesn't have to be over the top. Movement is movement, and even small bursts will help your energy and mindset. A, acknowledge your cravings, then shift, right? That's when you pivot. Cravings don't just vanish with sheer willpower. It would be nice if they would. I got you. I'm not going to ever have a sweet tooth again. If you have a sweet tooth, you got a sweet tooth, so notice them. Don't shame yourself. Own them, and then redirect them. If you want something sweet, go grab it. But grab it as a fruit, a piece of dark chocolate instead of a sugar bomb, right? If salty comes on you out of the blue and you're like, oh my goodness, I just have to have this, great. Go pop some air popped popcorn or snack on some nuts. Think about what you can do to honor where you are right now, the cravings even. Don't shame yourself because that puts you in a totally different mindset. And we don't want to go down that road. We've been down that road decades and decades at a time. So acknowledge your cravings and then say, you know what? It's okay for this moment. And let it be the moment. So we got SCA. Let's move into number 4. L, lean into support. Healthy living isn't done in a vacuum, right? So align yourself with friends or family who want similar wins. And you don't have to be one that you go and pay lots of money to somebody. If you have that and that's what you need for accountability, then by all means go and do it. Okay, grab a coach. Coaches are great to have, right? You know, I'm a personal coach. I'm a life coach. I'm here. I have coached hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands, okay? But I will tell you this. Not everybody has to have a particular coach for accountability. But you need to have somebody. Who is your somebody? What does that look like for you? Again, you get to choose. And when you choose that person, share your intentions and encourage accountability for each other, right? Plus, chatting with someone who gets it makes a journey less lonely and more fun. You can laugh about the crazies or you can celebrate the immediate wins. Man, I was standing there at the refrigerator and the refrigerator became this monster. And I know I was going for the worst thing ever. It was the big block of cheese. But all of a sudden I slammed the door and I ran away and I conquered the monster. Okay, you can turn it into a TV show in your mind and celebrate it with your friend. And that sounds crazy, but that's what happens in our mind. And then it's like, there's no wonder why I just don't feel good. If you don't have anybody to share it with, then you get trapped up in that monster, and that monster sucks you in. So lean into support. E, eat with intention. You knew there had to be food here somewhere, right? Of course. Holidays are meant to be filled with food, lots and lots of delicious food, family recipes, stuff that you're like, I just have to have. And sometimes it's an excuse to have. And so you've got those holiday meals that you know are going to wreck your metabolism when you eat distracted, rush, or you scroll on your phone. It's just going to happen. So instead, be mindful. Savor each bite. Take time. Put your fork down between bites. Have a conversation with someone else. Put the phone down. This simple shift can help you avoid overeating and deepen your enjoyment. And I got to tell you this, when you're looking at food, right? If there's something special that's happening in the food department, right, with your family and friends as you're gathering, don't sit there and be like, I can't have that. It's just not good for me. Now, it's one thing if you're allergic to it, right? And you have a medical reason why you should not. But if it's because, oh, I'm watching the scale, tip the scale in your favor and give yourself that permission to have 3 to 5 bites and then say, it's okay. Or say, I'm going to have a serving. It's okay. But then you're done and you walk away and you enjoyed it. That's when you eat with intention. Because then what are you doing? You're loving yourself. We got to learn to do that more often. So we got the SCALE, and finally the final S as a bookend, schedule self-care. Yep, you know it. You're the engine that runs your life's mission. And without refueling your mind, body, and spirit, guess what's going to happen? You're going to stall out. You're going to need a new engine, and sometimes you can't get it. And where does that have you ending up? Yeah, you know where. So block out time for sleep. Maybe you need to have some quiet time, some meditation, some journaling. Maybe it's just simply sitting or standing with your feet grounded, going outside. Okay, if it's not freezing outside, put your feet on the ground and breathe deeply. Feel your heartbeat. And then protect these moments. You don't have to go and get a full body massage. I mean, if you want to do that and you have time to do that, that'd be great. I know there was somebody who asked me recently, and I can't even remember who it was, but they said, if you had all the money in the world, like you didn't have to, back to Elon Musk, you had all the money in the world, what would you have first? Like, what would you want done? Like, what would you hire out or whatever, And I think they were thinking like, oh, would you have someone come do your laundry or be a chef? And I'm like, no. I wouldn't have any of that. I would want a masseuse to come every single day. Seriously. Why? Because I know where I carry my stress. I know how my body reacts. And just the way I'm built, I'm like, that would be incredible self-care. It would be very expensive, incredible self-care. Now I get once a week or once a month. I get that. But I'm talking about if I had, all the money in the world, a masseuse every day. Yeah, why not? But if you can't, you can do other things, right? So be creative. It doesn't have to break the bank. It doesn't have to put you in bankruptcy for you to find a way that says, I'm going to take care of myself. And maybe that taking care is literally going to bed, finding that routine, having that tea, that peppermint tea before you go to bed at night where it just calms you. My friend, the real benefit of healthy living isn't just slipping into your jeans or shedding holiday weight, right? It's not just about the number on the scale, right? It's not. It's not just about looking good for the pictures. It's about showing up for your life's mission. You're created for greatness. Your work, your relationships, your purpose, they all need you operating at your best. Hence, create your now. So if you're stuck in bed with burnout or trapped by illness, or worse, something happens and you're not with us anymore, then obviously none of what you wanted or want is possible because you can't do it. The health habits you build today tip the scales tomorrow, where your dreams are not held hostage by exhaustion and pain. Instead, you get to let your light shine. So guess what? You get to enjoy the holidays. Celebrate that. Eat the pie. Laugh with family. Sip on the eggnog. But do it with awareness. You're not depriving yourself. You're choosing to tip the scales toward strength. You're choosing to tip the scales toward clarity and vitality. You want to feel alive. But guess what? The choice is yours. This season, don't let the chaos knock you sideways. Start where you are. Use the scales, right, to scale you and inch your way toward better living, a healthy living. Not just for today, but every day. I promise you, my friend, you've got what it takes. Come on. Let's do this. Now go tip those scales. Go in peace. Train for life. Love your journey. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.